It's another beautiful day right here. We're excited to come your way this morning. It is Global Morning, and of course, we're reaching you from the nation's capital, Abuja, Nigeria. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo, and to get your day started this beautiful morning, I have a damsel joining me on the conversation today. As a matter of fact, we're returning here, not like the way you see us on weekends. For the next few days, okay, we will be here to bring you Global Morning. And of course, Priscilla is right here. Good morning, Priscilla.
Good morning, Ramsey. When you said damsel, I just knew that it was a walkover for you to toast your wife and you finally get to marry her. No, good morning to you. They say don't ask how was the night. They say ask, hope your night was good.
No, even your rest. How was your rest?
Okay, how was your rest?
Because if you say how was your night, it will appear as if you want to know what I did in the night.
Okay, so how was your rest?
But all those things, I don't know. But then sometimes I feel, well, this or both thing. All these things are important because they will tell you, the white man, if you tell the white man how was your night, the white man will be offended.
But I don't think
you want to know what I did. Does Nigerian man even know of that?
So can't we do our own greeting in Nigeria and have them do theirs?
That's it. You know,
Afro English.
It's like I don't want to use the word copy, but. We believe that anything that comes from there is more superior.
Yeah.
And that's why somebody will get to a shop to buy something. Like this morning as we're speaking, some people are having plans. As I'm going out today, maybe during break, I will go get this and that. I will get the foreign type. You understand?
Yeah.
I'll get the foreign. And there is this kind of feeling people have when it's foreign. Whether it's original or not. Provided it's foreign.
No, you just feel like it has to be original. It doesn't spoil. It doesn't go out. They
look at it as class.
Exactly.
As class. I want to belong to the class of people who use foreign.
But made in Nigeria is big. It is.
Made in Nigeria, we'll have a lot of very beautiful made in Nigerian products now. I'm coming to talk about made in Nigerian products. Well, Nigerians, you know, one thing that we do all the time is to speak with people. And like I always say, there's a way the society look at those of us that are journalists. They feel, well, if you want to know anything, if you want to believe anything is credible, hear from a media person, because they will tell you the truth, they will tell you everything that is fair. That's why a lot of times people say, well, be careful what you say on TV, so that you don't mislead people and all of that. Now, some persons are of the school of thought that one thing that this administration have been able to handle since the removal of subsidy is the reduction in the price of food item. You are a woman, so I think you should know better.
Actually, especially rice. You know, last year, December,
which is
rice.
Nigeria's general food.
Our general food is right. But no, not exactly. We have eba, we have swallow, we have gari, we have varieties of soups. So I don't think it's but I mean, it's like the neutral food that
that's what I mean.
Every tribe and every race. But the price of food has actually come down, and I really can attest to it. Although uniformity is still the problem, we don't have a regulatory body that sees to it that nobody hikes, because it's different from the price in the market is different from what you find in the streets. So those that go to the market to do the shopping actually gets at a good price. So sometimes the problem now happens with bringing it back and still maintaining the price, or with a little profit. People want to gain double. People want to have 100% profits, and that is the problem. I think it's a general problem. So when we keep complaining our government is not right, our government is doing this, what are you doing? How are you seeing to it that thing that they are trying to do, you are also, you know, in your own place, or playing your own part, your own quota. You don't go to the market, buy stuff at a certain price, and you come back to your home because you are a retailer. I want to hike the price. That's what we still see happening. So the price of things are cheap in the market, but the question is, how about in the streets? How about that shop on your street? How much do they sell, right? So these are the questions. So I think that we need a strong regulatory body, you know, to see to it that the price of things are regularized across markets. I know that you would have to transport and all. But when you do your transportation, after all is said and done, how much profit do you want to make? Are you trying to increase the profits by 100%? That shouldn't be the case. So we need, ultimately, I am saying that we need a stronger regulatory body to regulate the prices of, foodstuff and commodities in the market, so that when it gets to the man on the street, it is not hiked. Yeah.
All right. I think that is very vital. And as it is right now, a lot of people will tell you, well, it's not all about the price of the commodity, but do we have the money to buy these things? Like some persons will say, hey, they are holding all the money for 2027. That's what some people believe. But then, what do you think? Balancing the availability of foodstuffs and, of course, having enough money to buy. But then I think, which do you prefer? There is enough money, but you can't afford, and there is enough food, the price is okay, and some persons can afford, and you don't have enough money. But can money ever be enough? That's one of the things we should even be talking about. Can money ever be enough? I've not seen anyone who has come out to say, well, I have enough money now, I just want to relax, I don't want to make money anymore.
Well, I think as long as you have your basic needs, food, money would always be enough for food. Like, you cannot have money and say you don't have food to eat, right? So food, which is one of the basics of life, clothing, shelter, as long as you're able to solve this comfortably, I think you have enough money. Yeah, you might want to aim higher, you want to make more profit, you want to do more investments, but basic necessities of life, which is food, clothing, and shelter. There's something they call the Abraham Maslow's law of
law of needs,
hierarchy of needs, right? When you are able to meet the basic needs, you are in a more, you're in a better state to achieve or to aim higher. You want to, aim higher, to want to solve your security needs, to want to get that master's degree, that doctorate degree, want to get all the awards in the world, but the basics of life is food. So you cannot start advising somebody that has not eaten food to go and get a master's or to go and get married. Although love, relationship, and all of that is part of the basics of life, that is where money and, family, marriage, the essence of money in family and all of that comes in. But basic necessity of life, which is food, clothing, and shelter, once you have that, you don't have to worry about what to eat. Okay. You don't have to worry about what to wear. You don't have to worry about your rent. I think you have more than enough. In my own school of thoughts, though, I don't know about yours.
No, I think you're correct, because basic and essential needs must be first taken care of. You hear a lot of people talk, well, I couldn't take care of my family anymore and I was thinking of suicide. And I tell people, suicide is not an option. How would you bring people to this world and you want to commit suicide and leave them because you can't take care of them? Well, that is express to hellfire, as a matter of fact. But then I think if we have, a government, an institution, a system that is working, these things should not be a problem for a country like Nigeria.
I think it starts from a mind that is working. And it has of course, you have to have a system that works for a system
that is working. We're talking about social and basic amenities here. All right, we're talking about needs, but then you can't separate these needs from the amenities. All right, there is somebody that is eager to get these things. But what is the system saying? Is it affordable? But a country such as Nigeria, where we are known for agriculture, we are known for crude oil, and all of that, and a lot of other natural resources, if all of these things are being harnessed the way it should be, then we shouldn't even be complaining of these basics. Because for some other countries, these are basics. They don't even talk about that. All right. But here, I don't know why. So I know you won't ask me why, because a lot of people also know why. So why ask why?
I think for a country like Nigeria, right, we need to follow. You don't need to adopt the Oiboma mentality or get comfortable. We know how it is. We know that we're still trying to fix our leadership problem. We're trying to fix a lot in this country. So this is, for me, a way to tackle, all of this lack in a country like Nigeria. We need to look at the untapped resources. Now, you don't have to wait for the government to tap it. I mean, you can actually be the first person to tap it. It sounds as if it's not true, or it sounds as if it's do I call it a heresy or something, but it actually can be a reality if you have a working mind. And that's the place where creativity, we spoke about creativity over the weekend. Creativity in today's world, the digital age, everything that you have, I mean, naturally, I really feel like God has blessed us with all that we need. For a pregnant woman, you want to go through the phase of pregnancy, there are natural foods that you can take. You don't, need to, it's when you fail to adhere to the natural needs, the natural provisions, sometimes it now leads us to, trying to get the artificial or the, white man's medicine. But if you are able to tap from natural resources is not just the crude oil, it's not just agriculture, all of that is part of it. But what do you have? What can you see? What ideas can you see? What problem can you see around you? It's part of the natural resources, right? What can you bring your mind to solve? These are natural resources. It is not just the trees we have, in the forest. It is not just the gold and silver and crude. What are the problems you see? How can you solve it? What ideas do you have to solve it? Check within your environment. People are actually going through problems every day. If only you can provide solution. I mean, you can have a means to an end. And that is what a lot of Nigerians don't know. I saw a post on social media recently. A woman came out and was advising other women. She was like, if you are getting married and you are supposed to relocate and leave your job, I will not advise you to leave your job and go and join your husband. You are going to regret it. You are going to suffer. You are going to.
Was she talking of experience?
Well, experience, they say, but experience is not always the best teacher. Everybody has their experiences, and sometimes if you follow the experience,
it's peculiar.
It's peculiar. So your experience is the best teacher, not another person's experience. Another person's experience shouldn't be your best teacher. I mean, you can draw one or two cues from
exactly.
it.
You can learn from it.
You can learn from it, but it shouldn't be the best. The best. It can be a teacher, but not your best teacher. So you have your own experience. So essentially what I'm trying to say is, how do you tell women to come out and boldly say, don't relocate with your spouse, make sure you hold on to your job? That way you're already disrupting the family, order and all. I'm not saying that women should abandon their jobs though, but I'm only saying that what makes you think you cannot go to a new environment and get something doing? What makes you think that you cannot go to a new environment and get a new opportunity? It only takes you to have an open mind, to be creative, to be to be someone that is eager to solve problems. No matter the environment you find yourself, you will be able to make ends meet if you are someone that is open, if you're someone that is creative. So don't restrict yourself to a certain job and say, okay, I must hold on to it. And then you are scattering your family, you are scattering a lot of others. Do you understand? Because you feel like that is, I know they say a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush, but
two in the bush.
A bird, it's a thing of the mind, right? Be creative, be open. I think that's the pathway to ending scarcity for me, because we cannot fold our hands and wait for God.
I think it's so good that you're the one saying this, and you are a woman.
Yes.
And this has to do with women.
Yes.
But then in a society such as this, where getting a job, all right, is very easy, in quotes. You know what I'm talking about, everyone.
Yes.
Where you need to do this, do a lot. In fact, some persons, it takes them 10 years, 15 years, some even more to get a job, just like the way it takes some people to get married. As a matter of fact, so if you get it, if you can work out a transfer depending on the kind of job, all right?
Well, there are private firms that don't have, establishments.
No, but there's a way you can work it out.
Accepted government.
If they don't have a branch, except if they don't have a branch elsewhere, all right, you can get a recommendation letter, all right, from your firm. That's if you are a hardworking staff and all of that, and move with your family.
Yes.
Because okay, in that situation now, who will the kids stay with? Their father or their mother? Obviously, they will want to stay with their mom because the women are more good with the kids, even though we are better. But then the bottom line is, I think this has to do with an understanding between the man and the woman.
Yes.
If the man will say, all right, for now, I would want you to stay here.
Depending on how much it is you are even making from there.
Yeah,
because
no.
you cannot
if it's not a good job, if it's not a good job, no, you cannot be doing a job of maybe 200 or 250 or 300. Then I want to leave here. No, where we are going, every man would want to fix the wife. The husband might say, okay, this is it. For this period of time, let's give ourselves a target. You know, be here every weekend or two weeks or three weeks. I'll be coming around to see you guys until I get you something there. All right, then I'll come move you guys. If the issue of trust,
what about a situation of where it's just the husband and the wife, you just newly got married?
They just newly got married.
Yes.
Then the transfer comes.
Yes.
No, if you're getting married during courtship, these are things you should even fix. So it shouldn't be a problem. You know, the problem we have in Nigeria is that a lot of people take Panadol for other people's headache. You know, you don't know, a lot of people don't know. That's why I said probably that lady was speaking from the place of experience. You don't know the agreements the husband and the wife have had. Some persons frown at it because of issues of trust. All right, it's one major problem. And the society, there's a way the society looks at it. If a woman is earning more than the man, there's a way the society looks at it. If a man, all right, wants to move the wife from a very good job, but originally where the man is where the woman is supposed to be. But if there is an agreement and they said, okay, this is what we'll do, and they have a plan, I don't see anything bad with it.
So how about, you know, because the woman was not speaking from a place of, if you have an agreement. She just say, women, don't you ever try it. So it doesn't matter what the man thinks.
She's just creating content.
It doesn't matter what
it was on social media, on the internet.
Yes.
No, she was just creating content.
But you know that people look at these things and feed on it, and they feel like, I'm going to run my life with
That's why I tell people it's not everything you see on social media that you take seriously. A lot of people are living fake lives. And there are some women and some girls disturbing their boyfriends, their fiancés and their husbands because of what they see on social media, which is not real. So we need to censor by ourselves what we consume on social media, especially the Gen Zs. A lot of people are I don't know, but then I don't want to go there. This is a very big topic that we'll discuss on some of the time, because social media is not the right place to pattern your life. Even though we have a lot of people making sense on social media, so you should be able to filter and censor. Be careful what you take in, because whatever enters your ears constantly, whatever your eyes view constantly, have a way of affecting the generality of your body, of your system. So we need to be very, very careful. So that lady might be creating content, and that thing will enter a lot of people, because some women will even download that video and send to their husband.
I tell you, if you see the comments, like, thank you very much. You know, go to the comments.
I know, and it will be women.
Exactly, because she was speaking to women. So basically, I'm not saying that this is the do or. It's even a problem when people talk and you don't even have a mind of your own. You're just absorbing, garbage in, garbage out. Like they say, garbage in, garbage. You keep absorbing. I think you have a problem. You should go to a neurologist or something to check yourself, because at that point, I don't think your brain is functioning. Your brain should function. You should be able to see stuff and say, okay, this one I want it. That to show that you are working. Something is not. But I think you're dead. Something is dead in your brain cells when you can't even look at things objectively and see what to take away. There's always something to take away. There's always something to throw away. There's always something to take in. So it is your place as a human being and using your brain to know what to throw away and what to take in. I think that is it.
I think that's where a lot of people mix it. They miss it so many times. A lot of people just consume whatever come they take. And that's why I tell people most times, be careful the kind of people you even move with, your association. Because I've heard a story where a woman had given her own friend money, all right, to leave her husband's house because of the economic situation or whatever. But then she was facing worse than this woman was facing. So why do that? So it's not everyone smiling with you, everyone giving you advice, everyone trying to be on your side that is really on your side.
True.
You need to use your senses
your
very well.
Medulla oblongata.
Medulla oblongata. All right. Now we want to take a quick break. After this break, we'll bring you inspirationals. Then the national dailies will be brought to you. Stay with us.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m., Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are watching from, where you are listening from right now. My name is Ramsey. Let's talk a little bit. A lot of people think the way they want to think because everyone is entitled to their decision. Everyone is entitled to how they think. But then you have the right to think in a particular way. But then there is something I want us to consider today, inspiring ourselves, encouraging ourselves. What we are trying to achieve here is to set someone on track, give someone hope, restore someone's belief and faith in himself, in herself. What are we saying? There are things that you don't need to procrastinate about, that you need to start now. From where you are, using what you have, doing what you can, because nobody, all right, would want to have it all before they get started. If you're waiting for when you have it all before you get started, then it is a problem. So now, I want to ask a question. Let me ask you a question. How many dreams have died because someone was waiting for the perfect moment? How many dreams do you think have died? Even you who is listening, who is watching right now, how many of your dreams, how many of your plans have died because you were waiting for the perfect moment? Some will say, I will start when I have the money. Some will say, I will begin when I have the right equipment. Some said, I will take the first step when everything is in place. But when is going to be the time that everything will be in place? These are the questions we should be asking ourselves. But let me tell you something. The truth is this: there will never be a perfect time. The perfect time is now. All right? Arthur Ashe, the legendary tennis champion, once said, start where you are, use what you have, do what you can. He didn't have the fanciest equipment. He didn't train in the best facility, but he had willpower and courage to start whatever he had. You see, Greatness doesn't just wait for the perfect time. It doesn't care about perfection. It grows through progress. Every successful person you admire today started small. The difference between them and others isn't the talent, all right? It's the action, the move. Don't despise your humble beginning. Don't mind what people are saying, because people will say so many things about you. Whatever. Someone said his name is whatever. Whatever you do, whatever you say, people must talk about it, whether positive or negative. If you're doing well, people will still criticize you, because some persons will say, oh, because of his affluence, he's behaving like this. If you don't have, some people would still say, where is he looking at? Can't he see his mates? Can't he see what his colleagues are doing? The small things that you are doing in a big way one day will generate you income that you don't even expect. The bottom line is this. You need to tell yourself and say, enough is enough. I've tarried too long in this place, in this position, all right, in this thinking. You know, it's a process. It's a process. Success is a process. First of all, you need to conceive it in your heart. Then secondly, it needs to get into your head. Have it in your head, or else it will never get into your hand. Number one, it needs to be in your heart, in your head, and in your hand. I call it the triple H. The triple H principle says it must get conceived in your heart first. Keep ringing in your head, then it will enter your hand one day. But a lot needs to be doing. It's a process, just like the seed. The seed doesn't grow in just one day. It went through a lot of processes. The gold you see today don't just come out shiny, but then it went through a refining process, a heating process with fire, serious fire. The gold is being heated in serious fire before it's become what it is today. So whatever you're doing, that dream that you have, begin to do something about it. Begin to mix up with people who are going your direction, people who have your kind of dream achieved already, because that thing you're thinking, somebody already has gone ahead to do it. So you don't need to just sit down and be thinking, be procrastinating, the economy is not favorable, Nigeria, this is the country, if I was abroad. Well, let me tell you the truth. It's not all about your location. It's not all about your destination, even though these factors play particular roles in your success, in your growth, in your achievement, but you don't need to capitalize on it. All right, and hold yourself back, because by the time you're holding yourself back, someone somewhere is already overtaking you, because the person believed in his or her dream and decided to make a move, despite the fact that they are not seeing the staircase, but they believe that their leg will land somewhere. All right. Risk taking is very important, but then if you want to take risk, let it be a calculated risk. Not the risk that will destroy you or claim your life. Any risk you're taking, it should be a calculated risk. If I do this, this is what is going to happen. If I do it this way, this is what is going to happen. But at the end of the day, this is where I am going to land, good or bad. That's how to take risk. You don't just take risk randomly and say, well, whatever wants to happen should happen. You should know that this thing that I want to do is two ways. It's either it happens this way or it happens the other way. But those two ways should be something that you should be able to survive, not that kind of risk that will end you in jail. Then that dream is already dead on arrival. That vision is dead on arrival. So if you want to take risk in as much as risk taking is part of the game, you need to be calculative. You need to put your sense together. All right. And you just need to know that every expert was once a beginner. Everyone started from somewhere, and they are where they are today. It's so beautiful talking with you. It's so nice talking with you in this aspect. A lot of people tell themselves, this is what I want to do. They start and they stop halfway. Some persons start and one thing comes up and they abandon that and rush on the other thing. But the bottom line is this: whatever you want to do, whatever it is you're doing, you should believe in yourself that you are a great man, you are a great woman. But then you need to put God at the center of everything that you do, whatever it is. Allah, okay, is supposed to be in charge. And everything you want to do, don't succeed at the detriment of the other person, because nemesis will not allow that success see the light of day. You might be successful today, but how long is that success going to be sustained? Will you be able to sustain it because you did it on a very faulty foundation? A house built on a faulty foundation never lasts. We heard of building collapse at different times. How did it end? Because the foundation was faulty. So your success in life, your achievement in life should be on a very solid foundation without you stepping on toes. It's not necessary, okay? Because the plan that God has for you is of good. So do your best and try everything that you can and get started now. Get started now. January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, December, you should be able to sit down and say, yes, this is what I have done. This is what I have achieved. All right. It might not be 100%, but at least 75, 80, 85, 90 is still a very good one. Thank you very much. Have a beautiful time. I want to see you at the other side of success so that we can celebrate together, because the world is waiting for you to manifest your success. Thank you. It's good to have you join us from the Inspirationals. Now we're going to the national dailies. What are the papers saying this morning? Over to you, Priscilla. Let's get to the newspapers for the day.
Okay, so on the newspaper review segment, which is where we are on right now, we're starting with the Vanguard newspaper. And first story, bank diverts credit to service sector. This story is right there on page 19. I saw this one yesterday. Electoral Act. Senate passes bill, rejects mandatory electronic transmission of results. And I'm wondering, why are we not wanting to move forward in Nigeria? This is an intentional act to keep us backward. There are a few riders to that. Reduces election notice from 360 to 180 days. LP, PDP, George Okorie slams Senate over results transmission. We retained old law, didn't reject electronic transmission. That's coming from Akpabio. We retained old law. Interested, INEC vows to sanitize voters register, says dead men don't vote. Declares readiness for February 21 Abuja Council, Rivers, Kano by-elections. And there is the big story there. His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Tinubu GCFR sent golden felicitations to Matthew Owega Tonlanga. Okay, there's a lot to say about this. First of all, Senate President saying we did not reject transmission of results. Why? I mean, do you know when I saw this whole thing, the only thing that came to my mind is how Nigerians were busy on the internet talking about a pastor's tattoo, while we have pressing issues as elections coming in 2027. Nobody's lending their voice whatsoever. Nobody's talking about it. But we're after trivial matters. So how do we fix this country? How can we fix Nigeria?
This is back and forth.
I'm telling you.
How would you reject? This is something that we practiced, all right, in the 2023 election. And by now, we should be thinking of improving on it to get it better. But how would a bill be passed to reject mandatory transmission? Are we going digital or we're going analog?
How we want to jump on everything digital? They say they want to make WAEC CBT. We jumped on it because we want to move forward. They say JAMB CBT. We have jumped on JAMB, making it CBT. They said they brought reforms to the education system to include robotics, that is audio, as they call it. Audio robotics, because not all schools are. We jumped on it in the name of we want to progress. We want to follow the tide. But this is one of the things that forms our democracy. This is one of the things that we should be jumping up. We should be talking about transmission of electronic results. We should be talking about even electronic voting at this point. We're talking about going to
diaspora voting and all of that.
So anyone can vote, and we're still on transmission of that.
I was even surprised to hear this, because I felt these are people that should be pushing for things like this, because it's going to make the process seamless. To an extent, if transmission of result is real time, there won't be the issue of it was fair, it was free, it was rigged, it was this and it was that. That will be a thing of the past. But then with this, some persons might be suspecting foul play. All right. So we'll now go by manual transmission and manual collation of result and all of that. Well,
it's sad. It's sad. We'll go over
I don't know. Everyone, I've discovered that whatever bill that is being passed, people pass bills that will favor them. That's what I think. But I don't think anyone would be in authority and would want to pass a bill that would affect them. But then I think this is backwards for me. That's what I feel.
Well, let's go back to the Daily Trust and take it from there. I mean,
all right. Let's see how the Daily Trust will bring us some other headlines. On the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, NNPCL says reopening of Port Harcourt refinery, waste of resources. So where do we start from? We need to build another one. These are the questions we should be asking. Dangote refinery was built, and we can remember the billions that went down there. Now we have a refinery. Okay, we're being told when this administration came into office, the first thing after removal of subsidy is that the Port Harcourt refinery was going to work in December that year. It didn't work. Later on, we heard it was going to be in January. It didn't work. Later on, there were a change of maybe leaders and all of that. Up till now, look at where we are. And someone is saying that I think the reasons should be advanced. Why repairing or putting in place the Port Harcourt refinery will be a waste of resources? Well, if you want to get that detail, pick a copy of the Daily Trust newspaper. And now let's take you back to the Daily Trust newspaper for other headlines. Lassa fever kills doctor, infects health workers. That's the problem right there. The kind of risk these health workers face all the time. Court nullifies award of OML 54 to Petron, reinstates the Eurafric rightful owners. All right. And now on to the big story on the Daily Trust newspaper. 48 hours of carnage. Over 130 lives lost in 3 states. Well, I don't know. Sometimes when you take headlines like this, there's a way you feel. Just I think a few days ago, when some things happened around my area, I think one person lost his life. Somebody's life was taken, and the security situation in that place became very serious, and people were sleeping with one eye closed because they don't know what will happen next. All right, whether there was going to be a reprisal attack. And sometimes when these things happens, innocent people fall victim arrest to be made. Maybe a rival may want to come for an attack and all of that. And so people were sleeping. One thing came to my mind while I was in my room. I was thinking, all right, what about people who are being faced with this security situation all the time? How do they sleep? How do they feel? If they hear a knock, hear a gunshot and all of that shout, how do they feel? This is just one person, all right, where a lot of people lost their life and all of that. So it's not so pleasant to the ears to hear that 103 lives were lost in 3 states over 48 hours of carnage. Well, finally, from the Daily Trust newspaper this morning, electoral bill, that's the kicker. Senate rejects electronic transmission of results. We've talked about that already. And those are the headlines for you on the Daily Trust newspaper this morning as we take you to the Nigerian Tribune for more headlines.
So on the Nigerian Tribune, we have the first story there. Death toll rises as Kwara kills scores as bandits kill scores in Kwara. I saw this over the night, and I think 100 and something people died in this killing. It was just a while ago, or a few months away into the new year, right? Thinking that all of these things have come to an end, because sometime towards the end of last year we saw back-to-back attacks, on communities by the bandits. Going crossing over 2026, we all felt the whole thing had subsided, especially with the intervention, the U.S. intervention that happened on Christmas Day. But seeing this again, it means that
I think those guys are moving into other parts of the country.
We didn't used to hear this in Kwara State.
So I think intelligence needs to be intensified. How do they move? Do they use aircrafts? Do they move by road? How do they move with their weapons? What is happening at our checkpoints? What are the security operatives
It's not even an issue of kidnap. People have already died.
Yes. Lives were taken.
Soldiers, forest guards take over communities. Red Cross claims over 162 killed. Lawmakers says 35 killed. We're still debating numbers.
35 killed.
Even if it's one.
Civil society organization. Did you say Red Cross?
Red Cross says 162 killed, and then the lawmakers there are saying it's just 35.
Well, Red Cross have been known for integrity for a very long time, because they don't owe anyone anything. They won't come bootlicking for you to do anything for them. So they say it most times as it is. I don't know why the disparity, all right, in the number
even if it's just
lives.
one person that was killed, it's
every life
security,
matters.
A security threat, and at this point we shouldn't even be debating over numbers. It's a cowardly attack on civilians, and that is coming from the Kwara State governor. Killing of over 100 is a national disaster. That's coming from Saraki. This is indeed a national disaster, and we want to see this end. We really want to see this end. Let's go over to the next story. We pray that the souls of the departed rest in peace.
Amen.
2027 politics won't affect my job as FCT minister, and that's coming from our Minister of FCT, Nyesom Wike.
I wanted talking about him while we were even doing our introduction, but there was no time. The man is just going about doing his thing. Though he's putting his hand almost everywhere. He's interested in oil politics. He's interested in Rivers politics. He's interested in FCT politics. He's interested in the People's Democratic Party. He's interested in the All Progressive Congress activities, because he's working right there. And of course, he's going about in FCT inspecting projects. Yesterday he was out inspecting projects. And look at what he's saying now, meaning 2027 is done and dusted.
Well,
for him.
It will depend on the whole lot.
It takes a lot of confidence to even say a thing like that in 2026 ahead of an election.
To pause the impeachment process or to halt it. And I heard it was...
No, it's been settled. They met the president, of course.
So the president has directed him to stop that process. I mean, some people were saying that this was a very good one.
What he wanted to be, I think if you want to dissect everything that is happening, I feel he wants, is a show of muscle.
Yes.
You know, it's a part also, if you ask me. But now that Fubara has been told that he is the leader, of the
APC of River State.
So by now, everything must have rested. So Fubara now should be thinking of what's next. How do I work with these people? It is politics. It is not, politics does not operate based on emotions. It does not operate based on, I am the one doing the right thing. You understand? There are rules to this game of politics. So if you don't know how to play by the rules, the rest will be history. So,
well, let's see how they continue playing their political game. As we go to the next story, Nigeria to undertake Algeria as Africa's third largest economy. I totally believe this. It is just that it's not reflecting in the lives on the lives of the common man. We have the largest economy. Beautiful.
In Africa.
In Africa. We can actually do better. Yes, we are a great potential. Nigeria is blessed. I keep saying it. We're blessed with all the resources. We're blessed with people. The people in Nigeria. It's not just about the resources. No. The individual, the human resources in Nigeria is a lot. So if we know how to harness it, we can actually be better. We will always continue to pray for leaders that would help us maximize our resources. To the next story, which is a star story. Senate passes electoral bill, rejects mandatory e-transmission of results. I thought we had a transmission of results agreement or law in the last election, 2023.
I think, after 2023 election, it was passed. The use of beavers and all of that.
Yes, it was passed during beavers.
Yeah, I think the Buhari administration did that. But then, I don't know, there are a lot of ups and downs. But then, this is totally strange. Well, maybe we'll bring you this discussion more as you keep watching Global Television. This is what's talking about, you know.
Okay, there are some riders to that. Reduces notice of election from 360 days to 180 days. Recommends 5 million naira fine for unlawful possession of PVC. We returned the 2022 law says Apabio. Why are we using 2022 law in 2026? Oh my God. Ndume Lalong Protest Conference Committee composition, Senate's action, a deliberate assault on electoral transparency, and that's coming from Atiku. Decision harmful to democratic consolidation, that's coming from PDP. This is clearly power tussle. This is clearly saying we will do what we want to do in 2027. The handwriting is bold. We will take power, we will do what we want to do in 2027, and nothing can happen to it, and nothing will be done about it. This is exactly what we are saying. Why are we returning to a 2022 law in 2026? 2027. That is, can you, oh gosh, I mean, it's sad. Anyways, monumental loss behind shutdown of refineries, and that's coming from NNPC. And the question should be, the people that are being paid in that refinery, why are they being paid? Because I know
there are still staff there.
Yes, and the refinery that is not working is still receiving pay
for several
years. Why are we paying people that?
And they said, I don't know. Well, I think
why?
This is what stepping into. The authorities need to look at that. If it's not, well,
it's not working. Why not redirect the funds to a place that is working, or create something that will work, and then you pay? It now makes sense. You know, you can make sense of whatever pay you're giving people. Paying people that in an establishment that is not functional doesn't make any sense. Nigerian economy records 55.7 point expansion in economic activity. That's coming from CBN PMI. Salt in drinking water may rise blood pressure, and that is from a study. Finally, we have on 2027, INEC will stick to Electoral Act. The more I see this, the more it provokes me. The Electoral Act 2022, there's a rider that drops hint on voter revalidation exercise. FCT poll to proceed as scheduled. Page 2 is where you will see that detail. Nigerians, take heart. Let's go to the next paper, which is the First Daily.
All right. The First Daily is going to be our last for now as we take you through social buzz afterwards. 2027, I'm beginning from the big story. The Senate kills e-transmission. All right, sparks election fears. A lot of people are scared of what's going to happen in 2027. If you were the one, wouldn't you be scared of what is going to happen? You should.
You know what? We already know what's going to happen.
Okay, APC is in power now. Is you have the knife, you have the yam. So, well, some riders
you
to
seem
that
not
story.
to be bothered by this thing, honestly.
No, people will be bothered.
You seem not to be bothered by it. That's what I'm saying.
I have, see, this is Nigeria, and we've been here for a very long time. So we know how these things works. Sometimes when some things happen, we don't feel, it's not strange to us because anything is possible.
Wow.
All right? And you know how power works.
Wow.
When you have the knife and you have the yam,
Wow.
you know how it works. But when somebody said, okay, I'm going to work with, I'm going to go back, all right, 4 years or thereabout, to use something of 4 years, when the world
5
is
years.
evolving.
In
5 years.
2027 will be 5 years.
2027 is going to be 5 years, but right now it's 4 years. So you should be thinking, are we moving forward or we are retrogressing? These are the questions we should be asking. Nigerians have waited for this for a very long time. Say, okay, after the recess, they will sit down and do it. This. But I don't know.
This is what they can come up with.
What will happen is immediately after 2027 election, it may be passed. All right, more headlines coming to you. Some riders to that story right there. INEC insists it's ready despite electoral law delay. All right, INEC insists they are ready despite the delay. Political stakeholders want credibility of polls at risk. U.S. deploys a troop as Nigeria deepens counter-terror alliance. Bandits kill police officer, 4 others in Benue attack. And of course, a vision says World Bank hails Tinubu reform as global economic model. UK electricity now cheaper than Nigeria, energy expert. Are we going to be going for that of UK? NNPC halts refinery operations over mounting financial losses. And of course, Oshomole denies viral massage video, blames AI manipulation.
That was a very funny one.
There's nothing AI cannot do.
There's nothing AI.
If you know how to prompt, just forget.
Who says it's AI in the first place?
Oshomole is saying AI.
Okay.
I'm not. Did I say AI? Oshomole, he said AI.
Who are we to say? It's not
All
AI?
right. So he said AI. The walking into the aircrafts, the sittings opposite each other.
That must be a wonderful AI.
The foot massage.
I need to know that AI that did that one. The video was so clean.
He
and
said
real.
AI manipulation.
Wow.
Well, that's what he said. So, are you faulting it?
No. Who am I?
Okay, I thought you were faulting it. All right, let's bring you the last headline now. Dangote Refinery not importing fuel. CEO clarifies. All right, and these are the headlines from the national dailies for you today. We'd like to let you know that Global Television has no editorial contribution to any of these headlines. It is solely the property and idea and information coming from the various media houses. We'll take a quick break now. After this break, Ogochukwu Mobuno will be coming up for Social Buzz. Stay with us.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
When social media speaks, we'll listen and we'll bring you the extra. It's your one-stop show for trends, truth, and the tea everyone sips. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get the extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And the issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Buzz Extra, where the trend meets the talk, only on Global Television.
Good morning, Nigerians, and good morning, viewers all around the world. It's time to look at buzzing issues making rounds on social media. And today we are going to be looking at a woman who has tortured her 17-year-old maid with a hot iron in Anambra. So the Anambra State Police Command has arrested a 29-year-old woman, Ede Osinachi, for allegedly abusing and inflicting serious injuries on a 17-year-old girl said to be her house help in Awka. The spokesperson for the command, SP Tochukwu Ikenga, who disclosed this in a statement on Wednesday, February 4th, 2026, said the suspect allegedly used a hot pressing iron to torture the victim. The victim said the suspect tortured her because she used her phone to make calls without her permission. According to the PPRO, the suspect was handed over to the police by the Anambra State Ministry of Education on Tuesday, February 3rd, 2025. As part of the continuous commitment to the welfare and safety of students and pupils in the state, the Anambra State Police Command on Tuesday the 4th, on Wednesday the 4th of February 2025, received a 29-year-old female suspect, Mrs. Ede Osinachi, from the Anambra State Ministry of Education. The suspect allegedly abused and inflicted serious injuries on a 17-year-old girl said to be her house help in Awka. Well, preliminary investigations revealed that officials of the school during a teaching session noticed severe injuries on her body and immediately made inquiries. During the interactions with the victim, she disclosed that the injuries were inflicted on her by her guardian because she used her guardian's phone to make calls without her permission. According to the victim, Mrs. Osinachi, angered by the acts, allegedly used a hot pressing iron on her as a form of punishment during interrogation by the police. The suspects reportedly confessed to the act. To this end, Anambra State Police Command, while commending the vigilance of the school authorities, assured the public that a thorough investigation will be conducted and that justice will be served in accordance with the law. The command also urges parents to give birth to the number of children that they can train to avoid leaving them vulnerable to abuse whilst in the care of others. All right, so we're going to be talking about that shortly with the person we have here in the studio. But before we move over to that, we have to take some comments from social media as regards this, and let's hear the thought of others on social media. And the first comment we're taking here is from Nelly B72. And Nelly says, I keep asking, are these women not living with their husband? Okay, even though they are living with their husband, the husband will definitely go to work, and sometimes, you know, most times men are not always in the house, okay? All right, the second comment is coming from Herant Official. A Herant Official says, so much pain hurts in that girl's voice. Its face and it shall pass. Stay strong, girl. You'll tell a great story later in life. The last but not the least comment is coming from Mr. Morax. And Mr. Morak says, the reason it looks like there isn't much violence from women against men is because of physical differences. Many women out there are actually more violent than men. All right, thank you all for dropping your contribution. Your comments, of course, are always valid here on Social Buzz on Global Morning. All right, so we are going to be taking it from here, but I would also like us to listen to that video one more time. So let's take a look at the video again.
It's on Friday night, so I want to call one of my cousin brothers. I want to call one of my cousin brothers. So I don't know that the number I collected was not his own. So I called the number. We spoke and I asked whether the person said no, that is not so. I don't know that she's on my door hearing what I was saying that time. So and I called the call. They leave the number. The person now called. She now knocked at the door. And tell me, who did I call? And I said that is my cousin that I'm trying to call, but it's like the number is not his own. And tell me, he now slapped me first and tell me why did I collect her phone to call somebody. I did not talk. She now tell me I should go inside parlor and wait for her. She first of all bring knife. And then that
this is demonic act, I must say. It is a demonic act. Whether you ask me, I don't want to know what exactly her crime was, but it's demonic to carry out something like this on a child. She's just 17 for crying out loud, not even up to 18 that you call her an adult. So she's not an adult, whether you like it or not. And I must say, let me even hold it there because I have someone in the studio, of course, and I have with me Priscilla Obasi. Good morning, Priscilla.
Good morning, Ogochukwu.
So I'm glad that you're with me today in the studio to talk about this because, of course, you are in that education line, and yes, it has to do with children. So I'm very happy that you are here today with me in the studio. What do you think about this act, please?
Of course, it is demonic as you described it. It is not fair in every sense. This woman will never do this to her child. When you want to pick, I don't know if the girl, is she supposed to be a maid or something? Is she a house help?
Yes, she is a maid.
She's a house help. Okay. So when you pick a child to make her a house help or a maid, one thing you must understand is she is a child. Stop treating children as adults. Sometimes when you take them into your house, you not expect, they have a matured brain, but you're working with a child. You should always understand that this is a child at the end of the day. The same way your child is growing, the same way your child is developing, is the same way this other girl is developing. The fact that she's from a less privileged background doesn't mean that she has more sense. A brain is a brain, and there's a certain age you get before the brain develops. Circumstances of life doesn't make your brain develop automatically. you are still a child. So for every woman that goes out there, first of all, I like the fact that she's even in school. I would say that is a good one for the parent or the person that is, hosting her to have put her in school. I don't know the circumstance, but I really commend that. But then we should understand that children are children. I understand that you can get triggered, you can get angry, but that would only come into play when you expect too much. You are expecting too much from a child. You will be frustrated. You will be angered, and it will lead you to a point where you cannot control your emotions again. So it's the expectation that leads to all of these things. People, mothers, women should understand it. Stop treating maids as adult or child maid. Of course, it's child labor. We don't want to even talk about.
Of course,
it is child labor. But I understand that sometimes you're trying to help this child. You're taking, and like I said, the fact that the girl is going to school for me is a good one. But this whole thing comes into play when you are expecting too much from a child because you have made her a maid. She's supposed to have sense to do this, have sense to do that. I mean, the common sense is that you cannot put your children under the care of a maid and treat a maid wrongly because
putting your kids under the care of another child, another kid.
No, because of the fact that you don't take care of this maid, that maid will not take care of your children. It's just the mathematics of life. So whatever treatment you want your children to get is what you should also reflect from you to that child. Once that person sees that you are taking care of her well, when you are not around, they would also transfer that love to your children.
Although that's not really 100% though. Sometimes it works and sometimes it doesn't work, but yes.
I mean, if you do more harm to someone that's already damaged, it's not going to give you more harm.
Definitely, but what I'm saying is that statement is not 100% correct, I must say, Priscilla, because sometimes you even show other love, but the person, because of the orientation they already had from their home, they bring it into your home and they treat your child.
So now imagine somebody with such a wrong orientation, you now do worse to that person.
Worse to that person.
Do you understand? The person will be more. If the person is bad, he'll become worse. If the person is worse, he'll become worse because of. But sometimes maybe when you are doing good, the person will just display bad. Do you understand? So
very true.
It is always safer. The person might not give you 100% love, but it will be better off for you that you treat that person right at the end of the day, because someone that's already damaged, to give that person more damage would imply that the person who gives your child more damage. So why not just leave it at the I'm not saying no, I'm not even trying to justify any wrong that anyone does it, but as a mother, it is better for you to treat a person right. You would save yourself from more danger. Let's even put it that way. So it doesn't make any sense to me to see someone treating a maid in a certain way. I mean, you leave your children now. What do you expect?
So you said something earlier. You were talking about how grateful you are to the guardian to even put the child in school. And I must tell you something. You know, when they are going to pick these girls, most times, from what I've experienced, they'll tell you, oh, what do you want? Do you want us to be paying your daughter, or we'll pay it into your account as a parent, or we'll train your child and not pay you? Okay. So most times when you see most of them in school, it's because of the agreement they must have had earlier with the parents of these children. They'll say, okay, let's put this one in school because the parents said, okay, train this one for me because I want her to be in school. Since I cannot do the training myself, I can't afford school fees. So put this one in school. But some of them will tell you, oh, this one no get head for school again. Let her go and learn something, maybe a trade. Then you see, that's when you see sometimes the guardian puts them in their shop. They start learning from there. And some will tell you, just pay the salary to the house. We'll use it. We'll know what we can give to our daughter, and then we'll use the one. Sometimes these children are the one making money for their parents. And these kids are too small. I think it should even stop. If you want a maid in your house, if you want someone a help in your house, then there should be like maybe an organization that has that. I think right now they started doing that. An organization has that, and then make sure that the child is up to 18. That's a strong point. That's like an adult. It's up to 18. You cannot just send children below 18 out. That's child labor, like you mentioned earlier. So if they are up to 18, you register. You are also going to set something. There are some things you are going to write because they don't want to see you inflicting pain or harm on these kids. Imagine plugging iron and waiting for it to get hot. You are not even pressing, you are not ironing your dress. Because if you are ironing your dress and it gets burnt, I understand how we feel most times when you get to, mistakenly burn your dress and you shout, oh, it's destroyed for life. Yes. Then that is someone's body, someone's skin. This is really bad, honestly.
So I will say that no matter how we stay here and talk about, people not taking other people's children, it will still continue, whether we like it or not. Because
then there should be a regulation. Because there
should be a regulatory body to this thing. The problem is that we don't have that. People that even come up as agencies to do these things, most times they rip off those people and they pay them little. There are security agencies, there are security companies that train guards. But when they now send you to those houses, they will pay you the kind of stipend the stipend he gives to you. It's not commensurate with the labor that you carry out the day of the day. So sometimes these people prefer to go and even get
security men wash clothes. Sometimes security men will wash the car, take care of the dogs, and sweep the environment.
So the regulatory body should also see that the people that are employing them are paying them enough for their labor, because it's not just to have an agency. Agencies rip people off. I tell you the truth. It's just for the fact that we have humans out there that don't know how to treat other people right. How about getting this child? Sometimes relatives, you call your sister's person from the village or somewhere that knows
your cousin, nephew, and nieces,
child or something, and you take them to your account. Open an account for that child. Save that. If the child doesn't want to go to, because it will come back to you.
Of course,
you may not reap where you sow or what you sow and where you sow, but you reap what you sow, right? That's the way they say it. So it might not come from that immediate environment. It will come back to you.
Definitely.
Let us learn to be good. Open an account for that child. Store that person's money there. Or you try to register that person in the skill, tailoring be it whatsoever. Let that person become something tomorrow. When they become that thing, they will look back and say, you were a good person. You are sowing a good seed, they're living a good name for yourself. What does it take? Like, how do you feel being wicked? What is the gain in wickedness? I cannot understand. You are just satisfying your immediate emotion that would, after a while you forget about it. So what is actually the gain in being wicked? Self-control will pay us a lot. Self-control will save you from your future. Now look at this woman. She's going to definitely face the wrath of the law, because this thing has escalated, and it has brought great disgrace to her family, to her personality, to her lineage, if you ask me. Because people will keep referencing this matter. People will come out to start saying things that they saw and the ones that they did not even see. That is humans for you. So save yourself by being good. That is just what I would say.
Thank you so much. Let me also chip in one or two here. In as much as I'm sure that girl must have been going through a lot, in the hands of this woman. It's just that this one is the physical one that we saw, and the school decided to take it up. Sometimes when you see them, when they tell you, when you tell them, take off your shirt or take off your dress, my dear, the things you are going to see there, the marks and all of that you are going to see there is too much. I think, and also I do not want to bring, the issue of tribe or religion to this matter, but then I need to bring it up because we need to say it as it is. So most times we get to see things like this from the East. This report, let's be very honest. Yes, we've seen other reports from different parts of course, the country, but it is more in the East.
I'm not defending it. No, I think the Easterners are people that do business, so sometimes there are people that are always in need of help. I think I saw a similar case with very dark man raised at a certain time. I don't know if you watched that video of a woman in the north. So the reason why it's always, it always comes as it's from the East is that
it's more from the East, Priscilla.
They are business people that always need help.
And I think the Easterners always do, bring your sister for me or bring your cousin, let me train them. They always do this training
because of the fact that they are business people and they always need help. Very Dark Man brought up one issue one time, and it was for a woman from the north. If I see the video, I'll definitely pass it across to you. The woman says, according to her, somebody gave her a child to keep, and a guy says
a child to keep.
Yes,
can I get that?
To help. They give her a child to raise somehow, because she says, okay, bring the child to me, right? She was supposed to take that child to the orphanage, according to the story. So the woman, according to a guy that sent that report, every time he passes by, he sees that child being tortured. Every time he passes by, he sees that child being tortured. He had to video a process, and if you watched it, a boy of 3 years old
3 years.
Guess what she was beating the boy for?
What?
That he poo-pooed on his body.
Oh
A
my
3 years old child. Is the 3 years old not still? Are they not still using diaper? He didn't poo-poo on his bed. He poo-pooed on the floor or something like that. She beat this child, and guess what? The child eventually died.
Oh my goodness.
A child dies from beating. Now, see, humans are naturally wicked. Sometimes you don't see these things because they are not really showcased. You get as far, but humans, I don't want us to even put it to any tribe, and we fact that we see it coming up from but if you watch outside, like I said, if you watch that video, you will cry. I have a 3 years old. My son is not even up to 3 years. But how do you flog a 2+? I think it's not even up to 3 for pooing on his body. And this one had other children that never received that kind of torture. So it is a human thing. Why? What is the gain in being wicked when you're not? And people should, like they say, people should stop giving birth to children that you
cannot train. Please
stop it.
If you know you can train 3,
stop it.
Give birth to 3. If you know it's 2, give birth to 2. If you know it's 1, please do that. Don't say children are a heritage from the Lord and the gift.
And you say that God will
don't do that. The fruit of the womb is His reward, and come and give birth to children everywhere.
You can take care of,
please.
And it doesn't just take finances to train a child. It takes an emotionally stable human being to raise a child.
Very well.
Raising a child means that you have to be in the right state. You don't transfer aggression. You can't be in a state where you are broken, or somebody has dealt with you, a boyfriend, or someone has given your husband is dealing with you badly. Sometimes you're even with your spouse, you just have one. You know that this person cannot father my child well. Don't give birth again.
Yes.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to have 2 or 3. Sometimes you give birth to one and that man was not there for that one. Take the pain of taking because you know that somehow it is on you, solely on you. So you might have a husband and the person is not there. You might have a wife and the person is not there physically, the person is not there emotionally. Please don't stop there. Make sure that you have a ready partner because it takes 2 people, a man, a father, and a mother to raise a healthy child.
Thank you so much, Priscilla. You've really spoken well this morning on Social Buzz here on Global Morning. I must say, I must say thank you again because you really spoke on my mind this morning. All right, this is where we close the curtains for Social Buzz here on Global Morning. I'll be leaving you in the hands of Priscilla Obasi, of course, and we have Ramsey Enoch Agbo as they usher us into the discussion section of Global Morning. So stay with us. Good morning once again, Nigeria and viewers around the world. I am Ogochukwu Mopno. Bye for now.
When social media speaks, we'll listen and we'll bring you the extra. It's your one-stop show for trends, truth, and the tea everyone seeks. Join the conversation, share your thoughts, and get the extra dose of what's shaking the internet.
And on issues making wave on social media to your doorstep.
Social Buzz Extra, where the trend meets the talk. Only on Global Television.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For the latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
A very big thank you to you, Ogochukwu Mobuno. But then I was sitting backstage and I was like, oh my God. I was thinking of,
I mean,
but then I don't know. I think it's so good that it's on the internet. The authorities will not keep quiet over it. Civil society organizations will not keep quiet over it. This might be one out of so many.
Of course.
This might be one out of so many. This is more like, it's domestic violence.
It is.
All right? But no matter what, why would you do that? Why? This is somebody that is breathing like you.
I'm telling you.
Then you use... But before people do things, don't they just put themselves in the person's shoes? If it's me, if it's my child, what would I do?
No, you would never do that to your child.
Somebody will do something and then you start regretting. Why did I even do this?
The problem comes when you don't treat people like your own. If you treat a person as your child, the person might not be your biological child, but it's a mindset, right? You can have that mindset of, oh, this person is my own. And sometimes, like I said to Ogochukwu, the problem is we treat domestic helps, or people treat domestic helps as adults. You're staying with a 15-year-old, a 16-year-old, but because the person is a help to you, you think the person's sense has grown. A child is a child. The brain is not developed yet. You can't be expecting, an adult behavior from a child.
It's even an error.
You should understand that the brain has not developed. It will take a certain age. They say women's brain, human beings' brain develops at 30.
One thing that we are supposed to be talking about is when somebody comes to your house begging that they want to take your child, they will promise you heaven and earth.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people that have even been deceived from the village, the hinterland, to the city. What they tell them is, we're taking you to school and all of that. Then by the time they come to the city, they take some of them to brothels. This is something that we've researched. Take some of them to the brothels, and then before you know, they said this job, they bring men to mess them up and all of that. Then some will tell you, well, I want your child to stay with us, to help me and all of that. Then at the end of the day, you see people like that maltreating same children they went to beg for. And sometimes the parents of these kids might not be well to do to confront these people. And it becomes a problem. So I think
basically it's just to re-emphasize the fact that people shouldn't give birth to children they cannot take care of.
No, sometimes it's posterity. You can't even predict. There are people that even have 2, 3, which is not much, but yet, things were good. At a point, things turn around.
Life happens, right?
Life happens. The economy happens. Situations. Some lost their parents, and so many things involved. So sometimes it's not even about the number of kids that you have.
But we need to also talk about that, because there are people in this age and time that don't even understand that. Yes, I know that issues like this can come up from circumstances of life, but it wouldn't stop us from talking about the fact that people should not, as you're hearing this, that people are planning to do you understand? People are planning to still have more children than they can. That the 3 you already have, it's a difficult, and the economy is not smiling. These things are not supposed to be difficult.
But I don't think people still give birth,
if we have
like
a working
before,
government,
5, 6, 7
I tell you, people do. Those days, one of the quality of if the femininity then was measured by the number of children, it's now that people are femininity. Femininity was measured of femininity, right? Before the Western culture. The Western culture now says femininity is when you can talk soft, when you can sit well, when you can,
But before it was measured by the number of children you have.
If you don't have children, you are not a woman. As a matter of fact, there are cultures that says if you don't have a male child, you are not a woman. So women will keep giving birth. You have 3, you don't have a girl yet. You have 1 boy, you want to have 2 boys, so that you prove to the society that indeed you are a woman. But times have actually changed. But I will still tell you that there are a lot of cultures that still practice that. Even in the modern world, even in the city, there are women that have 4 girls. They say, I must have the 5th one. You don't even know that a child is a child, and it will become anything that you train them to be it a boy, be it a girl. People will say, I have 2 boys, and people will still look at me and say, You don't have your own yet. What's the meaning of that? What do you tell me? I have two, but I tell you don't have I don't have mine yet.
Which one is yours?
Which one is mine?
Okay, those ones are for your husband.
They are not mine yet.
Okay, they are not your children.
So I need to have a girl to have my own yet. These are the things and it's women that usually bully other women to, see these kind of things. You push women.
The same thing we were talking about a few minutes ago. Be careful what you listen to.
I'm telling you.
Some persons will, even because of that, maybe divorce or behave rudely to their wives or husbands.
Or become even depressed.
So we need to be careful the kind of things we hear.
Stop allowing society
a child is a child.
To you how
and
to
even people who don't have children yet, they will still have. It's possible.
You don't even have to. There are people that God has created to adopt other children, to take care of them.
So there is nothing bad with all of this.
I'm telling you, I'm not trying to shame anyone at all. But all I'm saying is, no matter the circumstance you find yourself, you can still find joy. Don't allow society to push you into depression. Get something going, like get something to give you joy. If you need to adopt, go and adopt. There's still this stigma on people that go to adopt children. Even in today's world, people still live their lives, and I don't even blame them. But you need to block your ears. Intentionally block your ears and focus on living a productive life. Focus on raising children to be productive. Focus on raising children to excel and live what society is saying. That's basically what I
think basically that is it. So basically that is it. We just need to be careful, do what we are supposed to do as a man, as a woman, children. We just need to understand ourselves. We just need to know that life happens to people differently. The dynamism of men and the society and what life brings our way differs. So you don't use yours to measure another person's own. If you like, have 3 boys, 3 girls, 4 girls, 4 boys, whatever it is. That's what you want. Allow other people to do what they want, because what works for you may not work for them.
Exactly.
And of course, if anyone chose to adopt, don't you think it is even good, all right, for you to do so? Because adopting a child is like you are giving a child life. A child that is somewhere, you pick up the child and you give the child life. The feeling of parenthood and all of that.
People still feel like genes are strong though, but your environment is what really makes a child.
See,
environment. So if you have that notion, there are people that have the mindset that, I don't want to adopt this child. This child might take the genes from the parents, whichever parents they came from, and the genes might not be so nice. No. There's environmental factor in raising the child, and it's even better. It even gives that child more prospects than biological factor. If the child is exposed to the right environment, the right training, the right education, the right everything,
the right parents, adopted parents,
that child will be a child is a plain sheet.
Yes.
Whatever you write in that sheet is what sticks, is what that child grows up with. So if you need to adopt a child, you should even consider one if you're looking for one, because that is a way to save parents or save children from being raised by wrong environment.
All right.
If you have all the money in the world, go and adopt a child.
That's
and,
it.
Make that child's life.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Now I want to go on a quick break. After this break, we'll get into the first conversation. Have you thought about the insecurity situation in the country right now? What is happening in Kwara State and other parts of Nigeria? It's worth talking about. US, coming to Nigeria, the collaboration and everything that has to do with the security situation in the country would be looked into with the security experts after this break. Stay with us.
Wake up with Global Morning, your daily guide to what's happening and making the rounds.
We delve into headlines, newspaper reviews, spot-on analysis, policies, current events, real talk, real issues that affect us all.
From the latest trends to the debate, every topic, every angle, Global Morning is where it all starts.
Global Morning,
For your latest issues,
always on point.
Watch Global Morning Monday to Friday at 7 a.m. Saturday and Sunday at 8 a.m. on Global Television.
You're welcome. Recent rainfall events are being considered a temporary shift from the typical dry season condition. These rains are largely influenced by extratropical systems, and this variability is expected to occur intermittently until the onset of the rainy season. With this, going into Thursday, residents of Lagos, Ogun, Delta, Bayelsa, Rivers, Cross River, and Akwa Ibom states are expected to experience morning thunderstorms. If you're in this region, keep an umbrella handy. To other parts of the country, partly cloudy skies are expected with sunshine intervals in the northern states. Moving into the afternoon and evening hours of Thursday, thunderstorms are expected to intensify and spread, covering both the coastal and most parts of the inland cities, including parts of southern Benue and Kogi states. Warm temperatures are expected, so we advise remain well hydrated and avoid prolonged exposure to direct sunlight. I am Theodora Itum. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back. As a matter of fact, so many things happening security-wise in the country right now. The recent one is that of Kwara State. Before now, it has been in the northeast, some parts of north central, but now it's already, there is a diffusion into other parts of the country, you know, as it is. Kwara State has faced this. While we're talking this morning, we're talking about the fact that Red Cross Society has said the number of lives lost is over 100, while the lawmaker is saying 35. And sometimes you begin to think, begin to reason, well, troops have been sent there already to quell the situation, to calm the situation down. But who knows where is next? What is happening to our intelligence? Where do these people pass? Do we have them living among us, or they are moving from one location to the other? Today we have a security expert joining us on the conversation right here. And as a matter of fact, he's the director of Security Salute Nigeria Initiative in the person of Comrade Salihu Danladi Mahmood. It's good to have you join us on the program this morning.
Thank you very much. Good morning to you, my gender-sensitive anchor people, both male and female. I'm glad to see you too. Thank you.
Thanks for coming.
Thank you very much.
I think I want to start. Let me ask what your initiative is all about.
Well, the Salute Nigeria initiative was basically set up to complement the efforts of the already existing security agencies from enlightenment of the populace against involvement in inimical activities like crime and criminality, as well as issues that are against the well-being of this country. And we have a former Inspector General of Police in person of Mike Mbama Okiro as the chairman, board of trustees, and Ambassador Chielo as the founder of the Salute Nigeria initiative, and their representation is across the country, where over time we evaluate certain performance evaluation of security agencies and other relevant agencies to see how our security in the country can be beefed up. Then even we normally have interactions with the security agencies themselves. Then in turn, we go on disguised civil ownership involvement, intelligence gathering. Then sometimes we also enlighten certain inhabitants in where there is a high rate of crime, insecurity, to know the roles they also need to play on ownership involvement, because in most cases, you find out that people don't even know that when they see, they need to talk. Just like what happened in Woro under Kayama local government area of Kwara State, the ownership involvement role by the inhabitants of the place was not played because the non-state actors, whether they are insurgent or bandit, we cannot ascertain for now, came from 4 o'clock. Some quarters say 5 o'clock. They even prayed in the mosques before the slaughtering started. And they said there were skeletal 3 military officers there. So we wondered why some of the inhabitants did not confide in certain people, because the proximity from Woro to Kayama is not that far, to Wawa and Kanji. Where Kanji you have air weapons school there, you have about 2 military cantonments there. So we are there to be that ownership involvement, display of constitutional role as citizens. This will have been reduced to a minimal level. So these are some of the things that the Salute Nigeria initiative also does. Then sometimes we also go to, sensitize on cultural related issues that has to do with security also.
That's interesting. Basically, I want to know how closely people work with local security in the states, say the vigilante and other, local security in the states. We've been doing a lot. You see, when Mahmuda terrorists wrote to some communities under Kayama local government in this same Kwara State, it was some of the roles we played, the kind of liaison and rapport we have that made them to give us certain intelligence information which we transmitted to various arms of the military, police, DSS and others, terrain, location and all of this and that, where they are supposed to be, and it helped. So, and when we are doing this, we do it under condition of anonymity. For example, if there is an inhabitant in Kemanji under Kayama local government, if there is an inhabitant in Kanikonko under Kayama local government, Bani Adena, or maybe Kosobosu Barutel local government that is adjoining local government there, whatever information or rapport we are having, we don't let anybody know the name of the source. So periodically, we also visit, we get to know how they are also faring in terms of the non-state actors that have also infiltrated the abandoned wildlife forest. Because when you go entirely in those areas from Mokwa in Niger State, Ibi, you go to Zungurma, Sabon Fegi, up to the time you get to Kanji, that is in Niger State. Then from Kanji you get to Wawa. If you are going by the right, you go to Agwara, Swashi, Babana, up to border area of Benin Republic. Then if you are going towards the left, you go to Gadaoli, you go to Woro, you go to Tungamaje, you go to Vera, you go to Kayama. Then from Kayama, you can now start going to Basoro. Basoro is under Bortel local government. You go to Bane under Bortel local government. You now get to Kosobosu. Then from Kosobosu you can go to Dikidiru, that is border area between Benin Republic and that Bortel local government. Then you can also go through Gure, Yani, Chikanda. Chikanda as border between Benin Republic and Kwara, that is Nigeria. Then if you are going to southwest, you can now go up to Shia, which is still in Kwara State under Bortel local government. You come to Boria, which is still under Bortel local government. You go to Okuta, Ilesha, Borba. Then Shaki is in Oyo State. But the most devastating thing is that most of these areas are ungoverned areas. And this is what you get when you have a lot of ungoverned areas. They come, they have field day. You can be surprised that there is also waterway in Kanji through the Kanji Dam Awuru, where they can even go through Keno to Wara and other areas. But you can't find Nigerian Inland Waterways operatives there. A federal government full-fledged parastatal that is supposed to be in charge of maritime waters. Nigerian Navy is not also there. No naval base in Kanji. No naval base in Wara. Kanji is one of the prominent dams.
It's the largest dam during Tafawa Balewa, the parliamentary system of government, during the Tafawa Balewa, Nnamdi Azikiwe system. When they were ceremonial president and prime minister, when Tafawa Balewa visited Florida in US during one of his state visits, that was where the concept of Kanji Dam came. Today, it's being managed by a private power firm, Mainstream.
Can you imagine?
Mainstream, something that is of honor, of importance, just because they want to make money, they sold it to power marketers. And today, our highly respected dam is in the hands of a private power company.
All right. Thank you, comrade. Let's get to talk about the security situation in the country. Now we're hearing about dispatching military officers to Nigeria. The first time it happened, there was a lot of tongue wagging. People said so many things. Well, the United States, some persons were of the school of thought that the United States were interested in our natural resources and some other issues around they are coming to Nigeria on Christmas Day. Now, we're hearing of collaboration, renewed collaboration, and the U.S. dispatching military forces to Nigeria. What is your assessment, okay, of the level of insecurity in Nigeria right now? We just talked about the fact that there is a movement of this attack from the northeast, north central, and now look at where it is going. From Kwara now, we don't know where next. So what is your holistic assessment of security situations in Nigeria? Have our military done well since the assumption of office by the Minister of Defense, the former CDS? What do you think, talking about?
You see, when we want to talk about this, we will not narrow it to only this administration of Bola Ahmed Tinubu.
Okay.
We start from where it started.
Okay.
When a system believes in too much hypocrisy, bureaucracy, this is what you get. 5 years ago, Ordinary Ahmed, convener of Berekete program, is my witness. I used to be a lead security analyst in his programs. One is for Hausa, that is Majalisa and Siasu. Then the English one, anchored by Oikeke, Okoro, and others, was politics and governance, 4 to 5. 5 years ago, we did advise that intelligence must be enhanced, permanent security structures must be established, because the fleeing insurgents from northeast will find solace in northwest, mixed with those in illegal gold mines who call themselves bandits. From there, north central will be the dumping site because of the abandoned wildlife forest. And I will go like this. When you take from Kebbi, that has border with Niger as well as Sokoto, you can move freely without being checked by anyone. Therefore, these non-state actors operating have now formed a circle where, as the onslaught is going on in one place, they move to get safe haven in other places, and the entirety of the rural communities in Sokoto, Kebbi, and Niger, as well as Kwara, are porous and ungoverned. In fact, even if you find outposts of the police, you can't find more than 10 AK-47 there. A non-state actor that has Tavo rifle used by Israeli elitist security force. A non-state actor that knows how to operate anti-aircraft missiles, RPG. What do you say of this? There is also international conspiracy, whether we like it or not. The so-called helicopters that land in forest of Zamfara to pick illegal gold abroad. How do they come? What happens to Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, Nigeria Air Force? Are we saying our airspaces are not well manned? We don't have radar and a host of other things. Then dilapidated nature of roads. I will give you an example. If you leave Wawa going to Kayama, it's supposed to be 67 kilometers, but you do it 5 hours. That is if you are even going at 40, 60. The roads pothole is up to this. Ask His Excellency Rabi Musa Kwankwaso, we relay his experience to you when he was campaigning during the 2023 presidential election, when one of his SUVs had to break down between Wawa and Kayama. Potholes are like this. Sometimes you see stream where vehicle had to enter. So with this dilapidated nature of roads, that contract has been awarded between Wawa and Kayama to no avail. Was it Python that swallowed the money? So there are many factors responsible for this insecurity. Where there is bad road, automatically these non-state actors have a field day, because they know before even the reinforcement comes, it takes time. They calculate and they do what they want to do. That was the kind of thing that happened to Woro. So once you have poor intelligence gathering and sharing. This is what happened. Once you have a lot of ungoverned areas, as it stands, we cannot blame a particular administration. It wasn't during Jonathan administration, thinking that during the Buhari administration it will improve, even with the procurement of weapons or whatever, like Tucano. The Tucanos procure from America. They are lying down in one of the bases I don't want to mention for security purposes. Security is not just...
Why is the Tucano jet not being used?
There are laws that binds it. So you should ask the defense authorities why it is so. Because they procure it with taxpayers' money. And Tucano stand for 4 hours. For example, in those forests of Woro, once you do clearance exercise, you resettle people. Tucano can stand there for 4 hours and, you know, destroy these non-state actors, even though they said we should not use certain inflammatory language. If not, I would have called them these vagabonds, these disgruntled and undesirable element, because it is not when you are touched directly. We are all Nigerians.
Yes.
Even if it's somebody from Burkina Faso, even if it is somebody from Afghanistan, if it is somebody from Kenya, they are still our brothers. So life matters. Live and let live, and not might is right. And now we know the insecurities as beef. You have it already noticed. Even in some Ebonyi villages, you saw the massacre of recent. You saw it. So that is to say, it is not only in the north. Even in the southeast, they went to a particular village in Ebonyi State, massacred people, where people were even evacuating their belongings to go. So I think there should be a declaration of national emergency on security. My very good brother, General C.G. Musa, is just new in office as Minister of Defense. Don't forget, Itato, he was Chief of Defense Staff. Now he's Minister of Defense. He need to also extend certain gesture to well-meaning civilians who are ready to also give privileged intelligence information. During Abacha administration, which I was part of from the civil angle, under the National Security Advisor then, Samuel Gorzo, I knew how I was a young man. As a civilian, I was contracted with certain responsibility where I even moved beyond borders between Benin Republic. I can tell you vividly, in 97, courtesy of that office, I traveled by road up to Sierra Leone. I traveled from Cotonou to Lomé, from Lomé across to Aflao, I went to Accra, I went to Takoradi, Aboiso in Cote d'Ivoire, Aboiso I went to San Pedro, the port city in Cote d'Ivoire, the port city I went to Danane, still in Cote d'Ivoire, Danane to Zoa in Guinea, Zoa to Zerikure, which is like 2 days journey, Zerikure, I went to Conakry, their capital, then to Freetown. That is then, 97. Today is not happening. How many NIA operatives, even though they said they have shortage of funds and what have you, NIA operatives are supposed to be relevant at border, exit, and entrance points. If you go there, you find immigration, army, border police, customs, NDLA, DSS, and others. Where are the NIA operatives? Even though we know they are not supposed to be known or seen, but this is the time NIA operatives should also be well equipped to be present at entry and exit point, because they are trained for certain international intelligence operation.
Don't you think it's possible they could be there and we don't know, because they don't always review themselves?
You don't tell a headsman how to take care or rear his cattle. We are part of the security. Don't forget, we eat and does everything related to security, even from the external angle. So if they are there, we will have known. For those operatives that are there, including security and civil defense, if I want to make certain calls to certain border areas in Kwara, Ogo, or Idi-Iroko, I can tell you few customs, immigration, border police, DSS, army, and whatever. I can get those contacts. But where is the contact of those of the NIA? So what we need now, it is not to discuss the devastating event, because no country is an exception, and the insecurity is not peculiar to Nigeria alone. We thank God no country has ever come to our own villa to take our president away. In Venezuela, you saw it. So America coming to assist now is good. You know, President Trump wanted to shoot himself in the leg when he mistakenly, maybe out of the one-sided briefing that there was Christian genocide in Nigeria, where some people were trying to do this and that. if the intentions are genuine. America comment, irrespective of whether we're a sovereign nation, is key at this point, because sophistication is what is needed. It's not just to carry combat officers in gun trucks. How many have they been ambushed? A lot of them were ambushed. You use sophistication. Look at that operation in Jabo, Sokoto State. The ship was in maritime waters of Ghana. I don't know whether you knew. They never, the target was not from here. Even though the Nigerian Defense Forces say it was a joint operation, but it was from the shores of Ghana. They made that target in Jabo. So it's not as if the Marine or the U.S. Navy came past. No, it's not so. The target was right from maritime waters of Ghana.
So it didn't even, they didn't
get into Nigeria. From there, they got their target.
Imagine.
So what is our Nigerian Navy doing? The armed forces, they are trying, but let me tell you, they also have constraints. Poor welfare, poor sophisticated weapons. How many sophisticated, can you compare them with a unit of America? So I think we should embark on exchange programs from DSS, police, army, navy, air force, including even NDLA, can even road safety that does traffic control, including even their counterparts, the VIO that does residual. Do you know in 2011, VIO in Asokoro, they apprehended a 911 truck.
Wow.
It was full of fleeing Boko Haram insurgents.
Wow.
Then they wanted to bribe the officer checking. He said no, he alerted his superior in the command in Asokoro there. That's how they rejected that bribe, took that 911 into custody, alerted the then OC military police, I don't want to mention his name, then a major. That's how they took the vehicle into custody. When they investigated, they are fleeing insurgents from Borno.
Wow.
Because they gave huge amount. So that is to tell you, even these traffic officers, you can train them on vigilance.
Yes.
For example, when you see a suspicious vehicle as a traffic warden, road safety, or VIA, what have you, or you can alert the immediate police station or even military. What have you?
I think that training is necessary.
It's necessary because
probably some may have passed before.
Absolutely.
Before that were not apprehended.
Yes.
This could be one out of so many.
Yes.
So now, what is your assessment of our intelligence level as it has to do with security? One of the things that you always talk about is the issue of our officers' welfare. You keep hammering on it every time. Why are we not having that now? And don't you think that is also affecting our intelligence level?
Corruption is part of it. Every year, appropriation is made by the two chambers. And in the two chambers there, they have subcommittees. The way you have committee on national security and intelligence, you have committee on defense, same way you have subcommittee on army, air force, and navy, with chairmen and committee members.
Okay.
Same way you have those of the police, you have those of the interior. But what do you find? Oversight that they are supposed to do to see what they appropriated, whether it was put into judicious use, is not done. Even though it remains allegation, what they do behind the scene, maybe Ghana must go, exchange hands, all correct. You appropriated money. You've not been to Command and Staff College to see what they said they've bought. Defense Academy for what they bought for training of cadets. Police Academy will deal what they bought. Immigration Training School, DSS Training School, Lagos, what they bought. Naval Training School, One, River State, what they bought. Maritime Academy, Oron, what they bought. All you do, or police colleges, or what have you, all you do is maybe when they say to you as committee chairman, committee members, all correct. This must stop. So that is why the two anti-graft agencies, ICPC and EFCC, I said they are not doing a lot. They are rather prosecuting and arresting politicians. Now is even former Attorney General's case a case, Malami.
I wanted to ask
you are bringing case that is irrelevant. When you are supposed to go and check, most of these monies are appropriated on security. Are they being used? Here in Abuja, Lagos, police officers don't have barracks. That of Garki, they said they are redeveloping it. Falomo, Ikoyi, the same thing, other ones. Police that is in charge of internal security. For example, now, in this war where you had the massacre, we are there to be Mopo Squadron, counter-terrorism squadron. They will have tackled it. When of a robbery happened, they set up Mopo Squadron there. Since then, have you heard of it? So we should even stop blaming the Army, Navy, Air Force. They are complementing the effort of the police. Police has the larger specialized squads, intelligence response team, special tactical squad, special intervention squad, border police, marine police, IG monitoring, mobile police force, special protection unit, and host of others. When Abba Kyari was in charge of intelligence response team, you saw the action. Abba Kyari is now in prison for just issues that if it's America, they will forgive and forget. A material. Today, IRT, STS, SIS, they don't have proper funding. Give the tax of anti-kidnapping operation to intelligence response team and special tactical squad with operational vehicles, with hazard insurance and welfare. I tell you, they won't need the assistance of Army or Air Force. I tell you, they know it. They know the nook and cranny. When they went for operation in Taraba, and a serving captain aided or abetted Wadume to kill the intelligence response team officers. Where did the case lie? He died natural death. The courts, because of 40 criminal justice administration, discharged and acquitted Wadume. That is Nigeria for you. So the issues are, there must be.
So my question is.
all right, go ahead.
My question is, prior to the happening in Kwara State, we have seen the U.S. come out to say, even the Nigerian government came out to say they are collaborating with the U.S. Army, right, to help end insecurity. In the midst of this, we are still seeing fresh cases. Is it that nothing is being done? What is actually, bringing up these fresh cases? What is being done to tackle the insecurity? And again, on fundings, what is the part of Nigerians or our security agencies, our security forces in this whole collaboration?
You see, on daily basis, they are neutralizing. Operation Hadinkai under Major General Abdusalah Abubakar of recent. They neutralized some camps of ISWAP and Boko Haram. I believe you are aware.
Yes.
So also Operation Fansanyama. You see the attacks are too enormous. They are overwhelmed. What is the man-force of the entire Army, Navy, Air Force to Nigerians? Like this of Woro, they were up to 70. The bandits.
The bandits?
Yes. As I talk to you, even the battalion dispatched there, I don't think they are up to that amount. 70 motorcycles.
And these are people from, can we say they are people that were...
They said there were some people that were speaking some indigenous languages that could be found in Babana. Babana is under Agora local government. So it's like they came, they had this ideology, extremist Islamic preaching. They wanted to indoctrinate this one, they refused. So I think they succeeded in indoctrinating some other people from Babana, because an internal source that spoke to me yesterday night said they had somebody speaking Boko language. Boko language is in Babana. Wow. And we've been saying that Sebana and Babana area under Agora local government, they need to carry out clearance exercise in the suburbs and the forest, because it appears they've already recruited many indigent people of Babana.
Babana is
under Agora local government. In Niger State.
Niger State. So from Niger State, they intruded Kwara State.
They are close.
Yes.
Wawa to that Woro with motorcycle is less than 30 minutes.
Interesting.
Because of bad roads, vehicles find it difficult. Then to Kanji is also close to Babana, Agora, very close.
These people are always using bikes. And when officers are going out, we see a lot of escort bikes, these motorbikes that are being used. The people riding these bikes are experts. Can't we have people like that, experts like that, armed and positioned in these places so that they can even go after these people who are also using bikes? I don't know, because I'm saying all of this because if we can't tackle it with the drones from air, we know Nigeria to be very, very good with artillery, So is there nothing that can be done? Look at what happened in Kwara State. You've been following up that situation in Kwara State. So what can you say about the invasion of these people and what was done in Kwara State, and what level are we now? What is the situation in Kwara State like right now?
Can we even say that the American government are focused on ISWAP and the rest of them?
I think American collaboration, I think mostly they are emphasizing on ISIS.
Yes,
ISIS particularly.
Yes,
to an exception, ISWAP and Boko Haram. Like issue of what is in Kwara right now,
yes,
is still like fire on the mountain because a lot of inhabitants of Woro have deserted that village now. And the chief of that place, whose palace was burnt, his 2 wives have been abducted and other people have been abducted. They don't know their whereabouts so far. Wow. The governor went there yesterday night. The irony of the thing is that in Kwara State, the highest battalion you have there is that of Sobi Barracks, is under the GOC in Ibadan. So it means even it is happening, the GOC has to take command from army headquarters from the president before he transmit to those areas. These are also bureaucracy. You don't need. Okay, yesterday they were celebrating President Bola Ahmed Tinubu approves deployment of battalion. For onslaught to be carried out, does it need presidential approval?
But the Minister of Defense came out to say that you don't need to wait for.
You don't need it. So yesterday is in you check the news platform. President Tinubu approved deployment. For you to deploy battalion, you need presidential approval. A president that is attending to national issues. So we also need to restructure the security architecture. That is why we said there should be in those areas. Let me mention to you, in Kanji, you have 221 battalion, 101 battalion. At the time, 2 years ago, there was a particular commanding officer there. The bandits said they were coming because they had some of their members detained there. Before they came, the battalion, 101 battalion and others in collaboration with Air Weapons School, they blocked the road. At the time those non-state actors came, those security forces wasted them. Why can't that same approach? Where are those commanding officers? They've been transferred. That commander is even in Nigerian Army Farms today. That award-winning commanding officer. Army Farms. Check the records. They are there. So General C.G. Musa should look for that commanding officer, 101 battalion and others, who succeeded in wasting those bandits when they wrote that they were coming. As I speak to you, another community under Kayama local government, Kemanji, they've written to them that they are coming, these same non-state actors.
Who is doing the writing?
The non-state actors. They have connivance with some inhabitants. So there should be establishment of Mopo squadrons and military cantonments in Kayama, Barute, because they are also border areas. Then Ministry of Works, President Bola Tinubu must get that road fixed, because the moment Wawa to Kayama to Kosobosu roads are not fixed, these bandits will be having free day because they know the terrain through some of their locals. So they must rehabilitate the roads. Agricultural produce is there, soya, bean, yam, and others, but you find bad road, and there cannot be security without food security. Then above all, they said there is clearance exercise going on in Kaswandaji on the orders of Niger State Governor. So I think the North Central State governors must come together. Look at Southwest, Amotekun. They have a security trust fund. Where is the security trust fund in the North? What are they doing with their security votes? They should go to Lagos, Ogun, Ondo, Ekiti, as well as Osun, to say, how did you form your security trust fund? How did you form Amotekun? Amotekun is gathering momentum. They have people in Mufti, they have people in their camouflage. They collaborate with security agencies and they enter forests. What is happening? If you are traveling from Funtua up to Ahe, up to Gusau Zamfara capital, how many checking points will you find there? We need to know what is right, when and how. I'm very happy General C.G. Musa is somebody I have. So when this Woro issue happened, when they called me the day before yesterday, immediate past Chief of Defense Plans and Policy, retired Air Vice Marshal, assisted by calling the incumbent. It was that one that now went to start making one or two things with all appreciation to them. Supposing that channel was not there, the same former Chief of Defense Plans and Policy, the retired AV, I don't want to mention his name for his own security, assisted when Mahmouda terrorist struck, and by making people like General C.G. Musa and other people to know, the DSA and a host of others. So we don't need to pretend. If we are ministers or governors are relatives to be there, it wouldn't have been like that. Even though Abdulrahman Abdulrazak, the governor, went there yesterday night, he went to Emir's palace too. He's appreciated. Beyond that, is it just theoretical? It doesn't take you anything. Establish Mopo squadron there. Cantonment in Kayama or Kosobosu, they are border areas. And the federal government is getting revenue, state government is getting revenue from there. Then you have bad roads. Now if you have emergency, how do you move the gun trucks, The Amo Pasne carrier can successfully pass that Wawa Kayama Road or Kayama Kosobosu Road. So it's unfortunate.
All right. You know, while you were speaking, just a minute, I'll get to you, Priscilla. While you were speaking the other time, you mentioned that the issue of Malami, the former Attorney General, was not supposed to be, it's a minor issue. But then, one of the things that he's been arraigned for is terrorism financing himself and the son. And one of the things, if we must get rid of this terrorism, this insecurity, the people who are financing them, because we know, you just mentioned it, that the kind of sophisticated weapons these non-state actors are using is beyond our comprehension and all of that. If the authorities, the anti-graft agencies, for instance, are picking on people who they feel are financing terrorism, even though there are some persons that have been named before. They even said there were some persons that he was supposed to prosecute then, but then who were sponsoring terrorism, but he didn't. And all of that. If he's been arraigned for financing is terrorism in Nigeria, do you think that's a small issue? Or you differ in opinion that it's something else that is happening? Because you talked about politicizing everything.
Malami's issue, no matter what they will say, is politics. It was from when he said he wants to be governor in Kebbi State that this whole issue started. Where were they before? You found pump actions in his house, licensed pump actions. The only mistake, because I also carried out my investigation, they said he actually got those pump actions from a licensed dealer. Are you getting me? Okay. Unfortunately, they did not renew licenses of some of them. You know, it's through renewal process. And pump action mostly is for hunting and what have you. Even though DSS are still investigating, where are the terrorists is financing? Is it Lakura or Bello Turji boys or Dogo Gida? You see, you don't play politics with everything. When you say Malami is financing terrorists, who are the terrorists? Arrest the terrorists and bring them, let them speak in open court. Yeah. But you cannot incarcerate him. He was Attorney General, Senior Advocate of Nigeria. To be called to bar is not easy. He's spending years, you become son, it's a state property, then became AGF for 8 years. Then now, you are telling us terrorism. Okay, bring the terrorists. Then, the kind of sophisticated guns, please bring them. Show the record. You see, even the Buhari administration too did that, you remember. When they incarcerated the NSA, then Sambo Dasuki and others. It happens naturally among politicians where they can do anything. Why I made an example of that is that we have more important investigations DSS is supposed to be doing, ICPC is supposed to be doing, ESS is supposed to be doing, but you are chasing shadows. Is Yabelo not free? Did the ESCC chairman not swear? Hey, if I don't get Yabelo and this, Yabelo is moving freely. According to some sources, he even enters the villa. He wine and dine with a creme de la creme of APC. You see, let's tell ourselves the truth. Politics, if you go as governor, is just renewable. 8 years, you are gone. If it's president, 8 years, they should think twice. Today, the likes of Nnamdi Azikiwe, Ladoke Akitola, Obafemi Awolowo, Ahmadu Bello, Abubakar Tafawa Balewa, Dennis Osadebe, Okoti Yebo and others, they are not more alive, but their name rings bell. Legacy still strives. They should think about legacy. The issues are the positions they are occupying will remain while one day we'll forget them. If they do good, their names will still be remembered. If they don't, they will be saying certain bad things about them.
So are you saying that these people are not sponsored by, there are rumors that this hoodlums, this, what do they call them, terrorists, are being sponsored by some of our politicians? Are you debunking that?
You see, when you are talking about terrorism and banditry, the differs, like I always emphasize. That of Zamfara is for illegal gold mines. Retired generals, and even though it remains allegation, they are all involved in the illegal gold mines. Either to some of the communities hired these bandits to come and guard the illegal mining sites before they got to know what is in there, and they turned the guns against them. So that of Zamfara differs from that of Borno. Borno was misplaced extremism, religious extremism, that education is a crime and all of other things. There are types of sponsors. There are internal collaborators, domestic sponsors, and external sponsors. No one can rule out international sponsorship in this terrorism and banditry because expatriates have been found in some abandoned forests. How do they get trained? There are countries that don't wish Nigeria well. So, and that is why I said the intelligence network are not doing enough. Is it the pro-welfare that is making it? We don't know. But it lies on their higher echelons. Thank God my very good brother, General C.J. Musa, is there. I believe the Defense Intelligence Agency will extend satellites. In fact, we want DIA operatives to be present in most of these nook and crannies now. DSS is already doing enough. Ajayi is doing a lot. NIA, they needed to also, even though their things are secretive, because even if you are NIA operative now, if you are posted to any of our high commission or embassy, you just go as foreign FSO. I don't know whether you know the meaning of FSO, Foreign Service Officer. So you are not supposed to be known. Just the way KGB of Russia, CIA, FBI, they post in disguise. Yeah. So they are coded, they are not supposed to be known.
Okay, so if you think these terrorist sponsors, so I really want to think that some of them do not even, they will not believe that this whole thing has escalated to the point it is today, because like you mentioned, that of Bruno started as the whole education,
extremism, education is a crime.
Education is a crime. Don't go to school. At this point, shouldn't there be some kind of rethink and to calling these people back to order, or is it too late?
Poverty and illiteracy are factors. The boy that detonated a bomb in one of the mosques of recent, he was given just 100,000. That's why we are saying, educate the people, you get a better society. Empower people, you wipe out poverty. In the entire North, poverty has become a menace, illiteracy has become a menace. Today, if you and a keke napep or Okada operator have problem driving your car, if you don't take time, they gather because of misinformation. Severally, I've saved clergies. There was a pastor along Apo Resettlement Road by that Wofa church. They had problem with keke napep. The other ones that were coming, he misinformed them. I was the one that came and presented the record straight. That's how the man was left off the hook. If not, they would have lynched him. So illiteracy and poverty, people get misinformed. Like this extremism, you go, you say this and that, and some people, because of illiteracy, they believe. Because of poverty, they believe.
Because of religion.
That's why they succeed in recruiting people. So the systems of education should, in fact, there should be free education in the entire North. Late Alhaji Lateef Jakande, whose 50-year anniversary after his demise will be celebrated on the 11th in Ilokpeju there. He gave free education as Lagos in the Second Republic. While giving the free education, he did not think of Igbo, Hausa, Yoruba, Ishekiri, Bokoba, or Batonu. It was everybody. Today, successful architects, engineers, even some that are in the military, they benefited from it. So let them borrow. Let there be free education. Then again, empowerment. Let employment be created. These Gen Z are Alpha Gen Z. They don't know anything more than materialism, with due respect to them.
Yes, true.
So if you don't properly educate them and empower them, there will be a problem. So it will boomerang, and it's part of what we are saying today. The likes of Bello Turji are recruiting because of poverty and illiteracy. Same way Dogo Gide, same way the ISWAP, ISIS and Lakura and most of others. Lakura, for instance, they are tormenting people today. They are even foreigners. They came and recruited people. So the system must fight poverty and educate people as well. Then corruption also must be fought.
I think that's the foundation. Enlighten people, because somehow it feels like we are trying to tackle insecurity, but it still gets deeper.
A representative of General C.J. Musa, Chief of Defense Staff, a particular Rear Admiral Umar Ateng, in University of Abuja, when there was this Department of Political Science and International Relations, Honor and host of others, he said it, that you can't fight security without food security. That is it. When somebody is hungry, there is poverty. There is
they can easily be conscientized.
That is it.
Now, let's look at the collaboration between the United States. The first time people said so many things, but now, with this collaboration and everything that we have said so far, what should Nigerians be expecting? Because if you want, like you said, a lot of things have been politicized, including the security situation in the country and corruption to an extent. So the collaboration with the United States. Now, the United States is being seen as a nation that is not too much known for corruption and politicizing things the way it is this way. So what are we expecting with this collaboration right now as it has to do with the tackling of insecurity in Nigeria?
Is it going to be a difficult task?
With due respect, America also has this type of corruption. Don't forget President Trump.
But not like that of Nigeria, right?
Well, we have coded corruption that is visible and invisible. Ours is a visible corruption, while theirs is invisible. You get my point? So no country across the world that doesn't have corruption. Even China, where they hang people. The issues are this collaboration is very good, but what the Ministry of Defense, Ministry of Police Affairs and Interior must do is collaborating with the civil society. Community-based associations, market women, youth organizations, all these boys that go and become thugs, bring them, engage them. The money is there. All these monies you use by moving convoys, you can also reduce them and do all these things. Do you know how much it takes when president is traveling abroad? All the days he stay, a minister, a governor, and all of other things. If they play ball and win, they will be promising the players. What about the soldiers, the police officers that lay their lives? So Dangote, Bua, Ote Dola, or Adenuga, it is high time I'm calling on you too. Private sector. Come out, these military officers carrying out onslaught, police officers, intelligence community, bring these billions. Because without security, Dangote, your refinery cannot operate in Aja. Without security, Femi Otodola, you cannot have Xenon oil. Without security, Globalcom for Adenuga cannot be there. Without security, Erano and all of others. So the private sector should be taxed on security too. There is CSR, corporate social responsibility. So the Dangotes, the Adenugas, $10, the Mangals, the Iron Mangals, you should start giving your corporate social responsibility so that ownership involvement training can be given. Inhabitants of these areas where there is armed banditry and insurgency were there to be periodical enlightenment. When you see, you say, like this thing that happened in Waranda Kama local government when they came from 5 o'clock, maybe one will have just did boom, the motorcycle, go and inform the DSS operative in Kama local government or the DP orders. But because these things are lacking, motivation is lacking. So it is high time we start doing the collaboration. America's security agencies in Nigeria is okay, even though we are an independent nation. But there should also be capacitated trainings. Even though I saw some times ago, I'm not supposed to expose on air.
So let's talk about security outfits. Do you think if we have more private security outfits like what you have, and even more recruitment in our security force, do you think this would actually also bring, relief in terms of the insecurity?
I hope you're also aware that Mr. President gave waivers for recruitment into police, Army, Navy, Air Force, DSS, and others. We must give that to him. We appreciate him for that. You see, private security companies are owned by private people. So for anything you want to do with private security company, you pay. So, for example,
do we have enough synergy with the government?
No. Private security has nothing to do with government security agencies. They are a private company. Even me and you, if we have security, whatever, you can float in one. They do their own business. So the issues are, if you say private security companies will recruit, is the ones they will take to guard NNPC, CBN, Security and Printing, NDIC, and collect their money. They work for themselves because all the proceeds goes to their company. So it is out of it. The only area you say is if there will be volunteerism, like the Civilian Joint Task Force, Vigilante, and thank God, President consented to Forest Guard where they are training them across local governments. Those ones. Then for the state governors too, they can do like Amotekun. Southeastern Security Network can also be revived and host of others. So I think in terms of volunteerism, that can be done. Then again, the citizens' role. In the Constitution, we are all citizens police. Do you know you can make arrest? For example, you are moving here now. You see someone being macheted. If you have the skills, you can arrest that person and hand over to the nearest outpost of the police or division headquarters.
What skills?
You are a citizen police.
What skills are we talking about?
Well, you see, it's because we neglect. Me, I've done it severally. I've been moving. I was moving one day. Somebody was being manhandled. I discharged my ownership, my citizen policing skills. I held the guy by trouser. Who are you? I refused to say. I was making call with the other end. And I called my friend in Guzape, He's in anti-violence there, a deputy superintendent of police. He now called the DPO in charge of that division. Location was sent. They came. They arrested the guy. Severally, I do it. So you can train yourself. It's just intelligence. But I'm not saying when you go and see people snatching phone because you want to discharge your citizen police issue. What you do in that case, if you are there, you just move ahead, or you park before there. Then you call any security agent you know. Don't go and confront them because they have machetes sometimes. Yes.
All right. Let's look forward into, because all of these things that we're saying, in a way or two, is connected to politics. Like you just said, a lot of things are being politicized in Nigeria. So far, so good. Working towards 2027, do you see this collaboration? All right, because when it gets into electioneering period like this, so many things happens as it has to do with security. You just talked about, you just gave an instance about someone trying to vie for a governorship position, and so many things are happening. I don't want to go there anymore. But now, with the collaboration between Nigeria and the U.S. Army or the United States of America, what do you think this can do to forestall security as we move towards the elections in 2027?
Well, nobody can do it better than yourself as a father to your children, and nobody can know where your roof is leaking except you stay in the house. No matter what contribution America is going to do, they are not going to tell our soldiers, police officers what they need to do. Theirs is just to come and assist us on training. Then sometimes, don't forget they donated weapons to Nigerian security agencies, you remember, particularly the armed forces. These are part of it, and there are certain coded trainings that are ongoing, then exchange programs and also of us. Don't forget ITATO. We used to send even cadets from NDA to go to send us in UK, and American, like I will give example of retired Major General Magoro Asadden. He's an alumni of one of the American Academy. So that is far back then. General Magoro became a minister under Obasanjo under military era in 1978. Muhammadu Buhari too, he has that, and some other people. So the issues are those exchange programs. It should also extend to even police, immigration, custom, DSS. You can take them to Belarus, take them to Russia, Washington, D.C., take them to Budapest, Hungary, take them to Beijing. Exchange programs, because when you go there, you also see how they train their own people. Beyond just going to Armed Forces Command and Staff College, Infantry School, Defense College, take them abroad. The money is there. What they do is corruption. The monies they are supposed to use to take in the police officers, army, and what have you, they will say, let's do it there. Oga will now corner it. You now see Oga ordering for SUV. Oga going for holiday. It shouldn't be. It should also extend to exchange program beyond just American Nigerian security agencies collaboration.
All right. I think this is a topic that we can't finish talking about in just one sitting. Thank you very much for joining us on the conversation this morning.
Thank you. The pleasure is mine. Thank you.
All right, everyone, as it is, this is the much you would be able to take on this discussion today. But we'd like you to know that the view of our guest is entirely theirs. And of course, the headlines from the National Daily, the Global Television crew does not have an editorial contributions to it. It is that of the various newspaper houses. Many thanks, everyone, for joining us today. My name is Ramsey Enoch Agbo.
And I am Priscilla Obasi, wishing you a beautiful and productive day ahead.